Republican Rob Cornilles, and here he is. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Bill. Good afternoon.
Also better known as Robert Colbert.
Oh, jeez.
I'm telling you, that was the funniest dang thing I've ever seen.
You've been waiting all morning to say that, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Call me that.
Listen, I want people to... That's the thing. I convinced 2 Democrats. You got 2 votes today, Rob, because of that video.
Hey, what do you know?
2 Democrats.
A little frivolity actually works once in a while, huh?
It does, because here's the thing. I got into it, kind of a Twitter battle with these 2 Democrats, 2 ladies, who said they were going to... See, the key was they said, we're going to vote for the opponent. And so I knew I had time. And I said, I sent them the YouTube, and I said, watch this and tell me if your opponent, if your person can do this. And they both wrote back, well, no, but, and we went through all the buts, and we got through everything. It took about an hour, and they both said, you know what, you're right. This guy's pretty sharp. So the video I was able to use it. You see what I mean?
Good. Well, you know, it was something we did late night a couple of weekends ago. It was actually a Saturday night. We were about ready to close shop for the week, go home for the night, and we were just chatting around the campaign headquarters. You know, my staff has said for quite some time they thought I had kind of that I looked like Colbert, and so we quickly penned out a script. A volunteer he was close by. He came back with his camera and set up a couple of lights, and away we go. So had a little fun.
It's good. If you want to see what I'm talking about, it's all over the Facebook now, or just go to YouTube, or if you're on my page right now, bpshow.com, click on my YouTube, and I've got it there as well. But besides all that, all right, we're down to it. We're down to less than 20, or right around just over 24 hours till it's all over. One way or the other.
Everybody's got to get their ballots in. No more procrastination. No more complacency. No more, I'll get to that when I get to that. It matters right now. So if people are home, grab your ballot, fill it out. It's the easiest ballot you've ever seen. There's only one thing you have to mark. That's Rob Cornilles. And then take it to a ballot drop box. And if you don't know where it is, get on my website, cornillesforcongress.com, and you can find a ballot drop box by your home, by your work, wherever. And if you're listening to this and not home where your ballot is, grab it tonight. Please do it. This really, really matters. It's a very close election, Bill.
Over the weekend, I'm sure that you spent some time at the headquarters and the phone and all that. How's it been going over these last few days with the phone center?
Well, it's crazy at the headquarters. We're making up to 10,000 calls a day right now.
Oof.
And have been for the last several days. Those are voters that need to be reminded. And many of them, I think most of them actually thank us for the call because they needed that reminder. Some aren't too happy about it. They've gotten a lot of phone calls from us, but it's what we have to do to get the vote out.
Yeah. Well,
I'm at the headquarters right now. You want me to? I'm going to put the phone out here and let you hear all the activity. You want to hear that?
Yeah, sure. Tell me, yell something.
Okay. Hey, everyone's on the phone right now, Bill, but hey,
okay.
Clap if you're making calls to voters right now. There you go, Bill. It's live.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm sitting here looking at an AP story right now. Jonathan Cooper from the Associated Press is writing about, the title is, Democrats Spend Big in Oregon Special Election. And he goes on to describe basically all the money that the Democrats have dumped into this race, as we all know. And it's interesting, right on this website are these ads on the side with this. They took the worst picture of you they possibly could, made you look like some kind of little weasel, and it's just terrible. And it's pure garbage. It's just crap, and it never ceases to amaze me at how desperate they really must be. So look, you and I both know this thing is close.
It has to be close. Why would they be spending millions of dollars to try to, assassinate my character and my reputation? And what's also very discouraging about this, more than what they're doing to me, is I can take it. I chose to get into this, so, I was prepared for these types of shenanigans. But what really bothers me, Bill, is that everything they're saying right now is basically a knock on small businesses. I'm a job creator. I've been hiring people for 16 years in this state, and what do we need most right now in Oregon? We need people who will hire again, And my opponent has no experience in this area. She's been a lawyer, she's been a bureaucrat, she's been a politician, and she's been an apologist for David Wu. Meanwhile, I've been growing a business that provides opportunities for people, lifestyles for people, not to mention great services for people all over the country. And what do they want to tear down? They want to tear down the guy who takes risks, who invests in our state, who continues to try to produce jobs for people who want them. And if they're successful because of this negative campaign they've launched against me, then what kind of message will that send to other people who might consider running for office in the future from the private sector?
Yeah.
We cannot allow this to stand, Bill.
No, you're absolutely right. This AP story at the end, he says this, and this is a fairly fair statement. He says, without any truly reliable public polling, it's anybody's guess how this race will go. Is that a fair statement?
It's absolutely a fair statement. It's interesting. My campaign released a poll about 3 weeks ago where we were showing within 4 points and within the margin of error, which means it's a statistical dead heat.
Right.
My opponent, since day one, Bill, has never released an internal poll. That, for anyone who has a brain, that's a sign that they don't want voters to see the numbers. They don't want people to know how close this is. They want to discourage and dispirit my supporters. They want it to make you just think that it's over, it can't be done in Oregon. And so they're keeping their numbers close to the vest. We understand, however, their internal numbers show me even closer than my own poll did. So this thing is within reach, but it requires your listeners to return their ballots.
Yeah.
If they really are serious about seeing a better Oregon, about putting more balance in our congressional delegation, about putting someone in Congress who understands that the private sector is what grows jobs, not a credit card Congress, then this, in the next 36 hours, is their opportunity to do something about it.
And you're right, 36 hours is, now I finally did the math while we were thinking here, and you're right, about 36 hours. What I want to do, Rob, is I know you're very busy. I'm going to take care of all of the where do you drop off your ballots, what time, how, when, where. I'll take care of all that stuff for you here in just a moment. But what I'm curious from you, and I think people would be interested in knowing, is what are your plans for tomorrow night? Once you've done the last call that you can make, and you've done all that you can do, and it's time to just sit and wait. Let me ask you this: are you hoping for a really long night? Would that be the best case scenario?
Oh, I think our family would like a short night so that we have a victory quickly. But I don't anticipate that's going to happen. But I think the main thing to know is that when we've done all we can and we've left it all out on the field, as they say, then that's the time when you gather your family around, you gather your friends, you gather people who have done so much to help the campaign over the last 6 months, and you just appreciate one another, and you appreciate the experience that you've had in a campaign, and then you prepare yourself for the next stage, which is to serve and to represent. And that's the mental exercise we'll be going through together as a family and close friends tomorrow night.
Okay. You'll be there at the headquarters? Do you have something else going on?
We're inviting people to come to the Forestry Center over by the Portland Zoo. That's where our campaign or election night party will be had starting at 7 o'clock. So people need to RSVP if they'd like to come. They can call our office just to make sure we have enough room for all the great supporters and people who have made contributions to our campaign. So just call 503-922-2014 if you'd like to come, if you haven't already received an invitation.
Okay. All right, so, and then the returns, basically, they're going to kind of start releasing some information, around 8 o'clock, maybe 9?
Yeah, I would anticipate, the polls close at 8. I don't think the first report is going to come back right away, so maybe 8:30 at the earliest, more like 9 before we start to see some real numbers. But, we'll be ready for anything, and we'll be very excited because we know that we've done all we can, and we know that our supporters and volunteers have worked so hard, and hopefully we'll all be able to sit with our kids and grandkids tomorrow night and say, you know what, we left it better than we found it. We're preparing a better Oregon for you in the future. We're finally bringing responsibility back to this seat and putting someone in this seat who we can be proud to call our congressman.
I like it. All right, Rob, it's been a long road, and I am really looking forward to tomorrow night, as I know you are. The anticipation, it just must be something. I don't know what it'd be like to be in your shoes, because I'm already wound up enough as it is. So, Rob, I wish you all the best, and we'll do everything we can from this end in the next 36 hours.
Thanks, Bill, and you've been great throughout. We appreciate all the opportunities you've given us to talk to the voters and your listeners. And if we need to check in again tomorrow, let's do it.
Oh, yeah, just feel free.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Bill.
You bet. Thank you. Rob Cornilles,